support the brands that support us.
It seems like not too long ago Yamaha introduced the MT-09 non-SP model, because that's actually what happened. It wasn't that long ago that I just came to you with a video about the standard Yamaha MT-09, and now just a few months later here we are with this, the MT-09 SP for 2024. So what separates the SP from the non-SP? Well, visually the biggest difference you'll see is the graphics, the signature SP graphic scheme here. The brake calipers, the standard bike has the Advix calipers, the SP model has the Brembo Stylema calipers. Big upgrade in performance there. After that, we're looking at Öhlins shock in the rear and an upgraded KYB fork. The KYB fork offers high-speed and low-speed compression, and then the standard rebound and preload adjustments. The Öhlins shock, as just on top of being a better manufactured shock, also provides remote preload adjustment here, and on the other side has a compression adjuster you can just flick with your fingers, and there's rebound and preload you can adjust too. Otherwise, the bike is pretty much the same 890cc triple that we know and we love, the same acoustic harmony that we know and we love that comes up through these vents up at the top of the fuel tank here. The bike pretty much is the same as a standard bike after those changes I just talked to you about. What else? There's also, there's a track mode in the electronics side of things that gives you like a more track focused screen. You can turn the rear ABS off. So there's engine brake control that you can now adjust for either more or less engine brake, and that sums up the changes between the standard and the SP model. So I'm sure you want to know what this thing is like to ride, right? So come along and I'll show you what it's like. I'm not sure if this camera is recording or not, but if it is, god damn, this road is amazing, and this bike is pretty damn fun too. I mean, we're pushing at a pretty good pace here, and these are the moments when a chassis is going to be upset or tested to about as far as I'd want to go on the street anyway. And for the most part, this chassis is pretty unflappable. You really got to be pushing at an insane pace to get this thing to start wiggling and making funny feelings from the front or the rear. There's plenty of feedback. Steering is nice and linear. It's not too aggressive. It helps that these bars are pretty much the right width. They're not too narrow, they're not too wide. It gives just the right amount of leverage to huck the bike left or right or wherever you want to go. I'm trying to find something to complain about, because that's always a thing. The brakes. I said before that the Stylema calipers are an upgrade over the standard bike, and they are. They definitely are. I do feel like I have more feel from the brakes at like maximum braking threshold, to the point where I'm satisfied. Oh, he's letting us by. Nice. Thanks, dude. To the point that I'm satisfied with the braking performance. It's a nice upgrade over the standard calipers. I dig it. I mean, this bike is super rad and super fun. This quick shifter up and down works great. I would say the downshifts are a little notchy. Like if I'm gonna complain, if I'm gonna nitpick something, the downshifts are a little bit notchy, but come on. If that's all I can really complain about, the bike's doing pretty damn good. It's hard to find a fault here. It's a lot of fun to ride. The fueling is fantastic. I've been switching through some of the modes now from street mode. When we started this ride, I'm in sport mode now. Yeah, haven't really found a need to change things up on the custom settings. There are preset modes: rain, sport, street, that have, like I said, preset TC settings and wheelie control, slide control, ABS, all that stuff. And then there's a custom mode, 2 custom modes that let you tailor exactly what you want, from the power, from the TC, ABS, wheelie, all that stuff. And then, separately from that, you can go into any mode, including the preset modes, and turn off TC or any of the other electronic aids independently. Now, if you turn off traction control, then all the rider aids shut off as well. So, same thing applies here. Again, the big change is the suspension and the brakes. And for that, there is a noticeable improvement over the standard bike. It's not a giant leap, mind you, but it is a noticeable improvement, to the point where I would say, if you were thinking about getting an MT-09 and you don't already have one, I'm kind of wondering why you would buy the standard MT-09. Why not save the extra pennies, work a couple extra shifts, and get the SP model for a modest price bump over the standard bike? It just seems to make more sense. It's a better bike, and you get more. Alright, as we're hauling ass down here, I did find another flaw with the MT-09 that may or may not be of significance to some people, but there's a pretty sizable gap, or not gap, but a pretty sizable lull in power, dull spot, flat spot in power in second gear down at the bottom. Coming out of corners where you're using the bottom end of the engine in second gear, there's a bit of a flat spot, so you have to like really carry some corner speed to keep it out of that bottom rev range, or you haul ass in first gear or third gear, but you try and stay away from that flat spot at the bottom of second gear, because you twist the throttle and there's kind of nothing there, and it's kind of annoying. On some like pretty harsh bumps or compressions, the shock kind of feels like it's bottoming quickly. It goes through its stroke like a high-speed compression, like a pretty big jolt in the road. It feels like the shock will blow through its stroke fairly quickly. So it's kind of harsh once it like blows through its stroke, and then it hits the bottom of its stroke, of its travel, and there's a hard thud down there at the bottom. Just experienced it there. Hard to see, hard to tell on camera, but we hit a compression and it felt like it was a quick jolt in the road too. Not like a rolling, not like a roller, but a hard crash in the road. And it feels like the shock will just blow through its stroke pretty quickly. The fork, it feels pretty good. There's lots of, it feels like it's pretty well damped. I never blow through its stroke. It's pretty supportive all the way, even at the bottom of its stroke. Pretty happy there. So maybe if I just fiddled with the shock some more, maybe play with the preload a little bit, that'll help it out, but we'll see. It's the same dash as the standard bike, so you have all this space, and yet this little rectangle is what's being used. Feels like there's a lot of unused potential all around the actual TFT display that's being used. You know, I said it then and I'll say it now, like, not a big deal, but it's my job to complain about something. So these brakes are a definite improvement over the standard bike. I don't know what pads are in these calipers or if it's the same as the standard bike or not, but I do feel more connected with what the brakes are doing in that last 10% of the lever. When we're going for like threshold braking, I do feel like I have more feel at those farther reaches of the lever travel of its stroke. I can only attribute that to the calipers, really. Despite having steel braided lines, I mean, the lever is kind of mushy. If you're really picky about those kinds of things, I don't mind it myself. I think it's fine. But others on this ride have noted, not complained, but noted that there's a tiny bit of squish at the lever despite having steel braided lines. What else? I don't know. It's hard to fault this bike. It's so freaking fun. So there it is, my thoughts on the 2024 Yamaha MT-09 SP. I loved the standard model and I really love this SP version. The suspension is just that tick better performance than the standard model. The brakes are just that tick better than the standard model. And what, for like a $1,200 price increase? At a total of like $12,400, this is a hell of a fun bike for a really good bargain. Just an absolute blast to ride, an absolute blast to listen to, just an absolute blast to be a hoon on if you want to. But at the same time, you can flick the cruise control and go commute down to work and have a totally relaxed ride too. So there it is in a nutshell, the 2024 Yamaha MT-09 SP. As always, please go to Motorcycle.com. You'll find my written review there. I'll have some more information, some more pictures, diagrams, you know, the whole 9 yards. So that's it from beautiful Tail of the Dragon. What an amazing place this is. Such a cool bike on cool roads. Sometimes these are the best days at the job. So alrighty y'all, thanks everyone for watching. Ride safe, and as always, I'll see you later.